What is going on, YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be talking about some very cool stuff coming to DueDEX, as well as the current coin market cap. Just a quick recap. As you guys know, yesterday we left off with the potential for some big movement within the cryptocurrency space. We know that we saw a pretty big jump on the 4-hour charts. This is on the daily, but you can see what ultimately happened is it pushed us back into our uptrend, which is great. This is great news. Ultimately, this is going to signal potentially a bigger movement as we get closer to the apex of the uptrend. So that's what I do want to talk about and discuss on today's episode. Some of these cryptocurrencies aren't actually above their uptrend, so that's kind of what I want to look at. Which ones are above it, which ones are below it, what exactly we have to expect. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way you help out the YouTube algorithm, and remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about cryptocurrency, the channel, or anything at that, make sure to just DM me on there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. All right, guys, so a ton of stuff I want to discuss really quickly. As you guys know, the $200 Bitcoin giveaway is still live. We have 2 weeks left before I do the raffle. As you guys can see, just a quick refresh, I think we have over 1,000 participants, which is absolutely amazing. Definitely make sure to take advantage of this. Check this out. It is literally free to enter. All you have to do is literally click the link down below, sign up, and then do the, you have 5 ways to enter, which is pretty cool. I'll give you guys some options. But definitely make sure to check it out. It's my way to give back to you guys in this crazy pandemic that we're dealing with. I thought I'd take advantage of the opportunity that was at stake here. So otherwise, just to move on to the current market, as you guys know, yesterday's video, this is what we left off at. We were discussing the urgent news happening within XRP and Bitcoin. Seems like I spelt that wrong. That's interesting, but happening within XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin in relevance to the big pump that we had literally just yesterday, and I kind of wanted to go over this and discuss it with you guys. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the intro, you can see the top 10 cryptocurrencies, all for the most part, are trading fairly well. They're more or less just consolidating now. We're starting fairly early in today's video, so we've merely just been trading sideways, and I want to talk about why this is fairly important as we move closer to the apex of the uptrends. So I do just want to look at Bitcoin really quickly. We'll talk about DueDEX, and then we'll go into the other cryptocurrencies, XRP, Ethereum, things like that. Specifically looking at Bitcoin, as you guys can see, we had a very, very, very interesting move just a couple of days ago. So if we just scroll back in time to April 11th, we had the 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15, literally trading sideways. The 15th, we were retesting the support, broke bearish, closed below the uptrend. We thought this was an opportunity to short, but we had this weird pump fake where we broke right back up upside the uptrend right here, and we are starting to now officially trade above the uptrend. This is definitely interesting. Now, I don't want you guys to just specifically focus on Bitcoin, although this is a cryptocurrency we can short, due to the fact that we have to look at the other cryptos in the space to really get a general understanding of what exactly is going on and what exactly is going to happen. So before we get into, when should you set up these buys, when should you set up the shorts and leverage trades, all of that information is already on my Patreon, which is in the description. So check that out if you're interested. But I want to kind of if you guys specifically want those answers, that's where you'll find it. I want to talk about more on today's episode. So I want to show you guys the fact that we broke above the uptrend does signal a couple of things. Obviously, this is a great sign. It does reference the fact that we should be heading up higher, but it really doesn't show how long. We don't really have much more time to really decide which way we're going to break. Now, usually, I know just recently we've been seeing some other movements, but we are setting higher lows. This is a positive, this is a bullish signal, but we do have to consider the other possibilities of a bearish cross on the MACD. That's not necessarily a good thing, and us retesting resistance as well as the middle moving averages right here. There is potential for this bullish cross on the middle moving averages, so that's good, but ultimately we're really up in the air when just focusing on Bitcoin. Now, I do want to show you guys DueDEX really quick. I actually got a crazy new update this morning that DueDEX is actually offering Tether, Bitcoin Tether perpetual contracts, which is pretty crazy because we've been waiting for months now for DueDEX to finally add other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin to allow us to trade. So this is a huge start in the fact that they're now adding Tether, and that means that there's a very high chance they're going to be adding some other cryptocurrencies to their platform like Ethereum and XRP, maybe even Litecoin. So definitely make sure to check this out. But specifically, I want to talk about what is going on within Bitcoin right now. You guys can see we have the chart pulled up really quickly, and you can see what's interesting is obviously we were retesting this uptrend right here, the sideways support level. We had the triple bottom back in the past, and just flashing forward, we managed to break with extreme volume above here. There's a very good chance we may come back down and consolidate before we see any sort of, big pop in the upwards direction. You can consider these to be, higher lows being set. You can see based on the past, we've had higher lows many of times, and there's a good chance this could be one of those actually starting once again, which is great news. This could ultimately head us even higher up, but we have to just really pay more attention to the markets right now. We could obviously set up different positions. We could still set up a short. Now that we've seen where we pretty much cap out at, to basically give us the best opportunity for a shorting possibility, I would ultimately put a short anywhere below, I would say $6,500, maybe exactly $6,500, if not honestly slightly lower now that I'm looking, maybe closer to $6,400 for a short position, because we've had these weird dips in the past, and it does show us the same wicks where we've had earlier in the Bitcoin price. So if we set it just a little bit below here and it actually fills, we'll at least capitalize on the possibilities of it falling lower. You can obviously take advantage of this. Another crazy update for DueDEX was the fact that they now added obviously the risk manager tool. This is an awesome feature on here. So basically all we would have to do is set a limit price, probably closer to, I would say, $6,400. Very easy. We would just go here, $6,400. I don't really need to take profit. I'd more so want to do a stop loss, probably closer to this uptrend, maybe $6,800. So it would be as simple as setting this closer to 6,800. Let's see, why isn't it? There we go. Sell short closer to the $6,800 level right here, maybe even 67. But if we do 6,800, this is basically a conservative cap. It will allow us to basically cut our losses more than if we were to just not have one and end up, screwing our entire position. This gives us a safe bet to basically get out of the market before we lose everything. It's a conservative approach. I definitely recommend taking advantage of it. DueDEX is linked in the description down below, and I do talk about this fairly often on the channel. There's also a sign-up bonus that they offer too. More information on that is in the description down below. Basically, if you guys were interested, I think they offer up to like $70 of free Bitcoin if you sign up, so it's pretty cool. But basically, I would set up a limit order with 10 times leverage at this price, $6,400. Obviously, we can set the quantity. Due to the fact that we have 10 times leverage, we could even do a fairly big trade. So it's pretty cool that they offer these risk tools and the stop loss at that. Obviously, you place your order and it would only fill when the price got down to there. Then it would fill your order and then you could capitalize off the short position. That's if that happens. Also on DueDEX, they offer this right here, the Bitcoin to USD, which is pretty awesome. You can see it was just implemented today, earlier this evening or earlier in the morning, and you can see it's trading fairly well. I would give it honestly a couple weeks before we really dive into this, due to the fact that we need the price to kind of settle in. It seems like it would have been a great short opportunity, but just let the price settle in before we really decide to get involved within Tether. Just wanted to update you guys with that. Now, just to talk about the other cryptocurrencies, like I said, we know that Bitcoin is back above its uptrend. We see Ethereum here. This is another red flag in reference to the fact that it is hitting its resistance. When you take all of these factors in and you look at Bitcoin having its bearish cross right here, then take in Ethereum hitting its resistance at the middle moving average and its resistance right here, there's more possibility of a potential correction in the price falling down to potentially 128. And then when you look at some other cryptos like XRP, which hasn't even broken above its uptrend, this is also using it as a resistance. It is another big signal of a potential bear market and another correction that could bring us all the way down at 16 cents. So when you look at all these cryptos, it gives you a general understanding that we may be in for more of a bear trend than just a bullish one when you look at Bitcoin. Even on Litecoin, potentially seeing a bearish cross. We see that it broke below its uptrend, has not yet gone near it. We did actually get close to it, and that's my mistake. We got close, we got near the uptrend, but we got rejected, and it currently are starting a bearish candle right now that's probably going to wick downwards. So when you look at Litecoin and you look at Ethereum and you look at XRP all having negative trends, it makes you think that we're probably going to get rejected from this resistance and consolidate lower. Now, obviously, we can set up a conservative buy-in. We can set a limit order closer to, I would say, 7,600. We know that this is the middle moving average right here. So if we set a buy-in closer to 7,750, we would know that if we manage to break above there, we could capitalize off the big volume that's coming. Regardless, at this point right here, as we get closer to April 21st, that is the end of the apex. That is where the big volume is going to come. We then have to play the conservative approach and set up two positions that could potentially fill if we break bullish or bearish. Setting one closer to 7,650 gives us the opportunity if we break bullish, and then setting a bearish buy-in, we could even, if you want to play it more risky, setting one up below this resistance right here, maybe closer to $6,800, 6,750 in regards to a short, will allow us to capitalize off the market going bearish. So there are a couple approaches. Obviously, we have to let the market play out a little bit more before we make our final judgment, but definitely make sure to check out everything that's offered right now on these cryptos before you just dive into Bitcoin. Look at all the cryptos to get a better understanding. Otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, turn on, like I said, your post notifications. This way you don't miss out on any important updates, as well as follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. And definitely make sure to partake in the giveaway that ends in 2 weeks for a free $200. Otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.